International Women's Day is on March the 8th, and to talk about celebrations here in Kingston, I have Ashley Clarke from the Italo-Canadian Club.
Hello.
Welcome, nice for you to drop in.
Thank you for having me.
So, it's not the March the 8th, it's the Sunday before.
Yeah.
And that makes it March
5th.
March the 5th, okay. And what can people expect at this week's celebration, or this year's celebration?
Yeah, so we're holding the event, it's called High Tea for Equity, so it'll be a fashion show fundraiser this year. We have Expressions Fashion Boutique that's coming in to host a fashion show, and then we also have a really great keynote speaker, Ophelia Regault, and a lot of door prizes, and we're also announcing the winner of this year's Inspirational Woman Award at the event.
Wow, a lot to unpack here. So tell me first about the guest speaker.
Yeah, so Ophelia is great. She actually does speaking on equity for a living, basically. She does a lot of like counseling and keynote speaking and whatnot, so we were really lucky for her to agree to do it at our event. So she's the perfect candidate to really get to speak on that, which is, like, equity is this year's theme for International Women's Day, so it all ties together really well. And she was actually nominated for the Inspirational Woman Award last year, so it was even more fitting to kind of, she didn't win last year, but to bring her back just as one of the many inspirational women in Kingston to have her speak to this year's event.
So equity, in what areas?
So I mean, obviously for International Women's Day, it's kind of focused on women's equity and kind of going above and beyond equality and really striving for equity, which is more about allocating resources and programs to people that are minorities or don't have as much privilege as other people. So yeah, this year it's really focused on gender equity and really kind of emphasizing those minorities. And so this year we're fundraising for Girls Inc. Limestone, which they're a really amazing charity that is very much about kind of empowering young girls and giving them the resources they need to succeed in life.
Well, and that's the time really to start empowering, is when they are young. And so it's not something they figure out in their 20s and 30s. Yeah. they go into expecting that this is the way it should be.
Exactly.
But I like the idea of including women of other nationalities and ethnic groups, because I think that for a long time the women's movement was really focused on the middle-class white women, and it just has to go so much beyond that now. And then also the women, tell me about well, it's not a contest exactly, but the recognition of women of, what was it? Women of
the Inspirational Woman Award.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, we started that a few years ago. I think this is our 3rd year doing it. I just thought it'd be a really nice idea to kind of really highlight the women of our community. And so we put out a call for nominations and asked people to nominate inspiring women in the community. And we always get a lot of really great nominations, and we definitely don't want to make the hard decisions, so we narrow it down to like a top 3 this year. And we just released the bios and the photos of the women who were chosen for this year for the top 3, and then the public is left up to kind of vote and make the decision for us so that we don't have to. And the winner will be receiving a $500 cash prize and trophies. So.
Do you remember what the 3, just a little bit about each one?
Yeah, so Stacy Love Jolisseur, I don't know how to pronounce her last name because it's very French, but she's amazing. She's a transgender advocate, and she works with incarcerated people and is really kind of vouching for their rights, especially those in the LGBTQ community. And then Patty, she's part of the Limestone District School Board, and she does a lot of really great work. She's in a new position that's all about inclusivity, and so she's really kind of promoting that within the Limestone District School Board, making sure that everyone is like, that it's, again, fighting for that equity and equality, and just ensuring that all students feel safe and welcome, and she's doing a fantastic job at that. And then who's 3rd? Oh, it's Heather Haynes, who is an internationally known artist, and she's also kind of an activist. She does a lot of paintings inspired from her visits in Africa, and does a lot of paintings of like Black women and children, and does a lot of fundraising for them as well.
That would be a tough decision.
Exactly, yeah.
Really, and to sit down and say, which one do I want to give my vote to? That would be tough.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Oh, that's the one I'd vote for." How can they vote?
So they would go to our website, icckingston.com. There's an IWD campaign tab on our website where they'd be able to find the vote link, and they can vote for they'll be able to read all the bios and then make their decision and place a vote.
And the website is on the screen, so they can do it right now. Go right to, so tickets for this are available.
Also on the website, yeah.
Alrighty.
It's all right there.
And they're $60?
Yeah, it's $57 plus tax, so it comes to about $66 altogether.
Okay, so for that you get high tea. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have a Delightfully Different Tea Room is going to be bringing in some adorable teapots and some great teas for people to have. And then we'll be providing the food, of course. We'll be having some nice kind of afternoon tea style sandwiches and some desserts and whatnot. So everyone will get their own little platter of that. And then, and then the fashion show and the keynote speaker and the door prizes and lots of fun stuff.
It's a good way to put it, for a Sunday afternoon. It's a really nice thing to do, and you can dress up a little and grab a few of your girlfriends or men in your life too. I know sometimes
bring the men.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah, we also, I forgot to mention, we have a bunch of local vendors that will be there as well. We wanted to kind of, again, highlight all of the amazing women in our community, and so we made a call out to local female vendors as well. So we have about 15 vendors that will be in attendance at the event, where people can kind of mingle and see all these amazing female businesses as well.
That's always fun too.
Yeah.
Things that you didn't know existed, and suddenly there they are, and didn't have to go out in the cold to find them. That's great. Yeah. International Women's Day is, we think that it's a more recent thing with women's issues taking the forefront in so many situations, but it's really not. It's been around for a long time.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah, it's been
1911, I think, was when it first really started.
And that probably was over voting rights. I'm just guessing that's about the same time that suffragette movement would have started. And then, I can't remember what year it was, but it was a factory fire that really pushed it more to the forefront. And it was, I think, New Jersey. I believe it was a garment factory that caught fire, and they had locked all the doors so that women couldn't leave or sneak out for a breath of air or something like that. And a lot of women lost their lives that day because they couldn't get out of the building. And it was a way of saying that women deserve better working conditions. Probably in those days everybody deserved better working conditions, but the garment trade was particularly bad, and then went through a whole lot of stages. It would have been suffragettes, and then the second movement in the 70s, 80s, and now here we are into a third movement and still fighting the good fight.
We've come a long way, but there's still work to do for sure.
Yeah, there is. There is. And I like the idea of getting to the very young ones first. And So the Italo-Canadian Club, it's out Highway...
So it's right off McAdoo Lane, so in between Division and Montreal.
Okay. And then get your tickets in advance, go on the website, it's on the screen. It sounds like a wonderful day, and I wish you all kinds of success with it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.